Becoming a blockchain developer is one of the best ways to change your career and land a highly paid remote job in a super exciting industry with insane growth potential over the next 5 to 10 years. But if you want to do this, then you need to understand the exact skills that people are looking for in the marketplace. And in this video, I'm going to tell you the top skills for blockchain developers in 2023. I'm going to show you all these in this video today as a blockchain developer myself who works with this technology on a daily basis and has helped lots of people break into the industry and land their first blockchain developer jobs. So if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory. On this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you learn how to become a blockchain master step-by-step start to finish and get the roadmap for landing your first blockchain job, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. There's a link down below. All right, so let's get into this. Let's talk about the top skills for blockchain developers in 2023. So the number one skill is the Solidity programming language. So what can you do with it? Well, Solidity is what makes you uniquely a blockchain developer because you can create smart contracts with it, which are really the building blocks of blockchain-based applications. Okay, so they're called smart contracts because they represent, digital agreements on chain. They're immutable, which means the code cannot change. And they're really the building blocks of all blockchain-based applications. So you can do things like create cryptocurrencies with them. You can create non-fungible tokens or NFTs. And any type of digital agreement that you can come up with, you can create that with a smart contract with Solidity and put it on the blockchain. Now, there's a few important bonuses that you have to understand with the Solidity programming language. Bonus number one is that it's a pretty beginner-friendly language to learn on the grand scheme of things. It's highly influenced by things like JavaScript, C++, and Python, okay? So if you've never coded before, then it's okay to start with Solidity. And I highly recommend that if that's what your goal is to become a blockchain developer. That also means if you're a developer already and you know something like Python or JavaScript, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to pick up Solidity as a new language. Now, the other big bonus with Solidity is that it works on a bunch of different blockchains, okay? It was originally created to write smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain, but there's all these other Ethereum compatible chains out there. And so if you learn Solidity, you can put your contracts on multiple environments. And so if you want to get started on learning Solidity after you finish watching this video, you can definitely go to my YouTube homepage. I've got an entire playlist there about free blockchain development courses. I like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. And you can get started learning Solidity today. All right, so the next top skill is picking a secondary programming language to complement Solidity, okay? So you're going to use Solidity to code smart contracts, but there's all these other things that you're going to need to do, like write tests for your smart contracts, maybe write scripts against those smart contracts onto the blockchain, and also create user interfaces so that other people can interact with your smart contracts. So there's lots of different other programming languages that you can use to do this. I'll give you two main options. So option number one is JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript's a very widely used language across the web. It's kind of the lingua franca of the web. And then also Python, which is another popular option. Now, both of these languages are in high demand in the industry, okay? And if you already have a JavaScript background, then you're gonna have a huge edge getting into blockchain development. Same thing. If you have a Python background, you're gonna have a huge edge because you can use those skills and transfer in. But if you don't know either one of these things, then which one would you choose? Well, I highly recommend going down the JavaScript route because, both programming languages give you the ability to write tests for your contracts, write scripts and all that type of stuff, do automations. But JavaScript is going to give you this additional benefit of being able to create user interfaces, websites, mobile applications for iOS and Android with the same code base. And it's just so versatile. And especially if you're trying to break into the industry and land your first job, creating a winning portfolio is key to this. And most people who are recruiting are kind of superficial and they typically want to see some type of user interface when you're creating a portfolio application, and JavaScript's going to give you a lot of tools in order to do that. So in addition to just the JavaScript language itself, I highly recommend also learning a front-end framework like React for building user interfaces. This is incredibly popular inside the blockchain industry. And if you understand React, then you're gonna have a huge leg up in getting your blockchain developer job. All right, so the next major skill for blockchain developers in 2023 is developing for Ethereum, okay? So people wonder all the time, like, hey, I'm becoming a blockchain developer. Which blockchain should I use? Well, Ethereum is my number one answer, and I'm gonna give you some good reasons right now and how that also is gonna give you an advantage with other blockchains. So let's start off talking about Ethereum itself. It's the largest smart contract development platform by a large margin. You can see how it compares to all these other ones right here, okay? So that's adoption. You want to build your skills where people are actually using the technology. Now, this has another benefit for developers itself. It's the largest developer ecosystem. So that means when you're going in to learn this, there's actually learning resources on how to do things you don't know how to do now. If you get stuck, you can probably find an answer to your problem And number 3 is you can actually connect with other developers, ask them questions, learn from them, and help one another along your journey. In addition to having lots of developer tools that you can use to do stuff fast without having to create everything for yourself. And so what you don't want to do is go into some ecosystem where you don't have these things, you're all by yourself, and you ultimately fail to reach your goals. But now let's talk about one big added benefit for focusing on Ethereum is that you can apply these skills towards other ecosystems as well. Okay, so earlier I talked about Solidity and how if you can write Solidity smart contracts, for Ethereum, then you can apply those same skills to other blockchains as well. So there's many other blockchains out there that have taken inspiration from what Ethereum has done and essentially changed their code and implemented it in their own blockchains. And if you understand how Ethereum works and develop for it, you can also develop for these blockchains as well. So this is what's known as EVM compatible. So EVM stands for the Ethereum Virtual Machine. And there's many other blockchains that implement the Ethereum Virtual Machine like Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Avalanche, and so many others. And what's more is you can also develop for Ethereum Layer 2s. And I'm kind of going to include this as a bonus sub point to this, which is understanding layer 2s is going to be a huge trend for 2023. So basically, this is a solution to Ethereum scaling where you have another blockchain environment that's dependent upon Ethereum, or you can do transactions in that environment to reduce the costs and also increase the speed, and then settle those back on Ethereum itself. And if you understand how Ethereum works, how to create contracts for Ethereum, then you can put these on these L2s with minimal code changes and minimal new learnings. And another bonus tip, if you focus on these L2s that are actually getting adoption, you're going to be ahead of the curve. So you can see a layer 2 like Arbitrum has had a huge parabolic move in terms of its daily transaction count. And if you're able to develop for these ecosystems early, then you're going to be way ahead of that next trend. All right, so the next top skill for blockchain developers in 2023 is mastering the in-demand libraries and frameworks that are most commonly used for blockchain development. Okay, and I'm going to break some of those down right now in this section. So let's start off with smart contract development frameworks. So if you're not familiar with what that is, a framework is something that lets you create an application quickly without having to do everything yourself. It, speeds up common tasks like creating smart contracts, deploying them to a blockchain, writing tests for them, writing scripts, okay? So I'll give you a couple different frameworks and also tell you what the most popular ones are right now. So Hardhat is the most popular smart contract development framework. It's a JavaScript-based framework. So like I was saying before, if you learn JavaScript, you're going to get up to speed quickly with Hardhat, okay? If you want to learn how to use Hardhat, the best way to do it is just to learn by building things. So you can go to that playlist on my YouTube homepage like I was talking about before. Most of the recent full stack tutorials that I've done have shown you how to do this inside of Hardhat, okay? So another option is the Truffle framework. So Truffle is another framework for developing Ethereum smart contracts. You can do the same types of things that you can do inside of Hardhat. I still like Truffle. I use it. And it's another good tool to have in your tool belt as you're becoming a blockchain developer. But at this time, Hardhat is the more popular of the two. All right, so in addition to having a smart contract development framework, you're also going to want to have a pretty good knowledge of another library that lets you connect your applications to the blockchain. So most applications don't talk to blockchains natively out of the box, so you need a library to do that, okay? So the most popular library for connecting your JavaScript applications to the blockchain is Ethers.js. So basically what you do is you use a library like Ethers, you connect it to an Ethereum node or whatever EVM compatible node that you're using, and you're able to do things like talk to smart contracts, call their functions, pull information from the blockchain, like the latest blocks, all the transactions and stuff like that, okay? So Ethers is the most popular JavaScript library for doing this. Now, another good option is the Web3.js library. I've also used this one quite a bit. If you're out in the wild, you're probably going to encounter both of these things on different blockchain projects. So having some level of understanding of both of these is going to give you a big leg up. And if you want to learn Ethers and also Web3, you can go learn those in those full stack tutorials like I talked about on my YouTube homepage, but I also have dedicated videos on how to master Ethers.js, so go check that out. And then also on how to master Web3.js as well. They're going to isolate each of these libraries and show you the intricacies of them one by one. All right, so the next and last top skill for blockchain developers in 2023 is really understanding the most popular blockchain use cases and how to create applications with these. So these two main use cases are decentralized finance or DeFi, and then also NFTs. So I'll break each of those down and give you some ideas on how you can get more familiar with these two use cases. So we'll start with decentralized finance or DeFi. So this basically looks like taking traditional financial use cases and porting them over to the blockchain, things like savings, lending, trading, all that type of stuff. You can go to a website like DeFiLlama.com and look at all these different projects that are DeFi. You can kind of click through to each one, see what it does, and how you can use them. So I highly recommend just using some blockchain applications, maybe on a test network or with some play money, just to get familiar with how they work if you've never done that before. But some popular ones to check out would be like Uniswap. This is a decentralized exchange, or a DEX, or something like Aave, which is a savings and lending platform. Now, how can you actually learn DeFi development? Well, the simplest way to start off is by learning how to create a cryptocurrency on Ethereum with an ERC20 token smart contract, okay? So one of the cool things about Ethereum is you can create your own cryptocurrency without creating your own blockchain with ERC20 tokens with smart contracts, okay? And creating one of these from scratch is going to kind of give you the ins and outs of how you can move money around the blockchain. And then after that, you can learn how to create applications that do things with ERC20 tokens, like swap them, et cetera, et cetera. I've got plenty of videos on my YouTube homepage that'll show you how to do that. Okay, so now let's switch from DeFi over to NFTs. So NFTs are a huge use case for blockchain, okay? One of the most popular use cases for this is like digital collectibles. You might have seen this with things like CryptoPunks or Bored Ape Yacht Club and OpenSea, which is the biggest NFT marketplace out there, okay? So, understanding NFTs is big, but we're just scratching the surface for what we can do with it. And there's lots of upward mobility with NFTs over the coming years because you can do way more things than just digital pictures on a blockchain. Okay, you can do any type of intellectual property, insurance, model ownership of real world assets like, real estate, for example. And there's so many companies in this space that are trying to get ahead of that next wave, and they all want people who understand NFTs and how to develop for them to crack to be the first to market with some of these bigger use cases, the first, leaders in that adoption cycle. So what's the best way to learn about NFTs? Well, just start by creating one from scratch, okay? Most NFTs follow the ERC 721 non-fungible token standard. So basically, this is a standard that describes how NFT should work so that they're compatible on things like cryptocurrency wallets and also, NFT marketplaces. And then you can do this to maybe create a digital collectible, but you can also use it to model these other use cases like I was talking about a minute ago. And if you want to check that out, I've got plenty of videos on that playlist that I keep referencing on my YouTube homepage that show you how to develop with NFTs. We just put out one recently showing you how to create a Zillow clone so that you can buy and sell real estate on the blockchain with NFTs. All right, so those are some of the top skills for blockchain developers in 2023. So again, a quick recap of those. The number one skill is learning Solidity so that you can become a blockchain developer. Number two is picking a secondary programming language like Python or JavaScript so that you can, do other things and actually create full applications. Picking a blockchain like Ethereum and then all the other EVM-compatible chains you're going to get for free. Knowing a smart contract development framework like Hardhat or Truffle, and a popular Ethereum library like Ethers.js or Web3.js. And then finally, mastering the top use cases like DeFi and NFTs. All right, so I'll leave you out with one final bonus, okay, at the end of this video, which is if you want the entire roadmap on how to become a blockchain developer step-by-step from start to finish, like exactly what to learn step-by-step all the way to getting your first job, then I'm going to release a long, comprehensive video on this next week, okay? And so what you're going to want to do is subscribe to this channel and then turn on notifications down below to find out about that video whenever it goes live, okay? And also smash that like button because that really helps these videos out so that more people learn about blockchain. And if you watch this video after the fact, it's probably already pinned to my YouTube homepage. But if you can't wait for that video to come out and you want to just go for the throat, okay, and actually start becoming a blockchain master today, break into the industry, land your first blockchain developer job, increase your salary past 100K, then I can show you how to do that over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. There's a link in the description down below. You don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. Until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.